Hello everyone, I'm Yihao, and today I'm going to teach you something about the hand gestures operations in Lens Studio. Alright, so now we have created a new project, and in order to do the hand tracking, the first thing we need to do is to create an object tracking components. And to do that, we click on the plus sign here, and we search for hand. And the option object tracking, when the cursor moves onto it, another option called hand tracking pop out, and we click on that, and it will create a nested object. And the one center, called center, when we move to inspector, we see that it is object tracking components already created for us. And when we move to the camera view, you see it can already track my hands. And for now, I don't want the image for me, so I hide it. Pretty good. So our next step is adding a script that can emit events when the object tracking component detects a hand gesture. And to do this, first we need to create an empty scene objects. Alright, so object panel, plus sign, and this one, scene objects. So now we need to add a script into our objects. To do that, we click on this inspector panel. We click on add component and the script, and click on add script. Right now we don't have any script, so we create one by clicking the plus sign and the script, and click OK. And yeah, it will run the script on the wake, which is what we need. And I think, yeah, we can already see the script in our resources file, and click on that, and it will open a script editor for us. Next, we'll add an input, which will give us access to the object tracking components. And the code I put in the bottom of the video, and I will also add it to our script editor. Just copy paste, and after you save it, there's one new option pop up in the inspector, set tracker. What we will do is we click on that, and we find the tracker object tracking components that we created. Click on OK. So we assign the script into the tracking components. Using that tracker object we just created, we can register a listener that will be listening to a given hand gesture detection and call a function once the hand gesture is found. So we can do that by calling a method called register descriptor start and of the object tracking component, and pass a gesture name and a callback function to call when gesture is found. But before that, there are some basic information I want to share with you. Right now there are 6 hand gestures that we can recognize, and the first one, this one victory, and this one open, and index finger, horns, close, and thumbs, and just like the picture shows. And I think the direction of the hand gesture doesn't matter, and the Lens Studio will recognize no matter what direction it is. Now, having this information, let's create the listener. And let's back to the Lens Studio, to the script editor. And like I just said, there is a function called register descriptor start, and it will automatically do what I want, and which is pass a gesture name and a callback function to call when gesture is found. And I will still copy paste the code into the script editor. The first one, function trigger response. This one is when it detects a gesture, it will print a message to me to say, okay, I have detected. And the next line is the register descriptor start function. And for now, I only wanted to detect the open sign for me, and it will give me a response. And let me just first save it and go to the preview. Okay, you can see on the logger, it's already detected several of my open hand gesture. So right now I have added all the 6 gestures into the code, and you need to make sure that's the name here, the red ones. The name of them need to match the code name of them, like I just told you. The code name need to be exactly the same, otherwise it will not detect it. And let's have it. I will delete the open hand here. So each time it detected each of the gestures, a message called gesture detected will pop out here. Let's try. Open. Victory. Index finger. Close. Yeah, you see 7 times of it pop out, which is good. And yeah, the direction doesn't matter, which is pretty good. So right now, our cameras can already detect our hand gestures. And the next step is the most exciting part. Which is what can we do with our hand gestures? We need to create some behavior scripts in order to do that. And again, in the object panel, plus sign, search for helper scripts, and click on behavior. And it will create a behavior script for us. And let's go to the inspector panel, and the trigger of it should be object tracking events. And we need to select the object tracking component that we created. Okay, and event type is the descriptor start, and the descriptor should be either one of them. Let's first use open this time. So it will run the behavior script once the open gestures has been tracked, and the response type panel are the things we can do. And for this one, open one, I want to have a set enable one, and I will create an, let's say, sphere in the like it will already show, but right now I hide it, and in the inspector panel, back to behavior, and set enable, and the target set to the sphere that I create and hide it, and the action is enable, and I save it. Go to the preview. Right now nothing, but when I open my hand, the sphere pop out, and I can duplicate the behavior. Oh, let's read again. always rename your objects to make your project neat and clean. This one I'll say close, and let's go to the inspector. The first thing you need to change is the descriptor. Let's change to close, and this one still set enable, but the action is disable. Save it, and let's see. Enable, disable, enable, disable. There are other several cool things that I want to show. Let's make this victory. Victory. And go to the inspector. Change the descriptor to victory. And I want to change a response type. Let's go to have set color this time. And the visual, which is the objects we want to show. Again, the sphere. And we can choose a material. We can create, I don't know what it look like, but I will just choose a random one. And I can also set the color for it. Let's have a yellow one, maybe. Save it. And go to the preview. Let's first enable it and change color. And pretty good. Disable and enable again. And although we have already disabled it for once, but after you show it, still keep the same materials and color we have set it up. It will not change to the default color. There are some other things we can do besides the objects, the sphere. Let's have a thumb for this one. Go to the inspector again. This one. Spell is right. Okay. There is one play sound, and you can also see that play videos, several things. Play and target. I can add one. I don't have any sound file right now. I will go to asset library and just use one music. I don't know which one it is, but I will just use it. Yep. Okay. And you can do some options to the music as well. And let's save it. And go to the preview. And right now, sound up. So yeah, again, there are plenty of response type here, and you can take some time and play with it to see which one fits you, and you can use in your projects.